Really? Live. Hello. Welcome to episode 2 of the Right Now YouTube live show. We're your hosts, Valerie Ihsan,
Joanna Bartlett,
Julie Dawn,
and we're here in Tsunami Books again in Eugene, Oregon, and we are coming to you, bringing you balance in your writing life every Monday at 11:11 Pacific time.
So thanks for joining us. We're hoping this week's show will not be worse than last week's show, and that our technology is working. Mostly is what we're hoping. We had some streaming issues last week, and so things cut out. So hopefully you'll get the full show this week, and we're actually able to hear what we're saying as we're saying it, and we won't be a bunch of garbled pixels.
Yes, garbled pixels is not my idea of a good YouTube live show. So we're going to do our check-in segment now. Julie, did you decide? I'm on tenterhooks.
No,
You didn't decide.
I thought you did decide.
I did decide.
Are you second guessing your?
You did the,
No,
you did
I
the
did
thing.
the hat trick, yes. And I even video. And then I'm getting ready to edit the video, and I'm like, no, I'm not sharing this. This video sucks. And then I'm watching it, and I'm like, I filmed myself for my future self. So I was watching it, and I was like, my problem with my book was that I was trying to conform to a specific genre for my series, because series are supposed to be the same genre. And my second book is pretty much like sci-fi, more so than the first, which is like zombie horror. And so for the third one, I'm thinking I have to fit it in a certain genre. And once I let go and said I'm just going to write whatever story I want to write, it's been flowing.
Oh, good.
So I'm like, oh, this is so nice, because up until that moment, even like the choice was like, I know this is what I should be doing specifically at this point. And yeah, so
Well, that's great. That's great that you got some
we'll
clarity
see.
on that.
Yeah.
So I made a list of the things that I did last week. So I got accepted by New Leaf Distributors, which I don't think I told you about last week, to distribute 5 of my books, 5 of my 6
Awesome.
nonfiction books,
Congratulations.
which was like a terrifying process for me, filling out forms. I hate filling out forms and paperwork and the book promotion plan and all of that, and then waiting. And so they ordered 25 copies of each of the 5 books, and so I ordered them, which isn't really a lot, right? It's only 125 books, but it's still like the largest single book order I have placed, because I don't keep books on hand. I don't keep them in stock. They're all print on demand, so it's easy for anybody anywhere to get a copy within a couple days. And
So what does New Leaf do?
So New Leaf distributes books to like new age metaphysical bookstores. A lot of them,
So they're like a
independent-
distributor.
Yeah, they're distributed. So like independent bookstores like Tsunami will order from Ingram, but then if you go say Stargate down the road, they only order from New Leaf.
Interesting.
And a lot of those smaller woo-woo shops, essentially, which is my target audience.
Yeah.
Love the woo-woo. They order through New Leaf.
The
So it's,
woo-woo.
if I want to get into any of those stores,
see.
I need to be distributed by
Very cool.
this company. So
Well,
I got that done.
congratulations.
Bam, bam, bam.
I wrote some blog posts, one
Okay.
of which is up, one is like half done, and then I've been taking, this will go into our topic of the week, but a mindfulness course with Tara Brock and Jack Cornfield, and that's been taking, I think that's his name. That's been taking a lot of my time, which isn't actually writing, but it pertains to writing, as you will soon see.
Yes.
How about you?
I finished going through the manuscript, and I did not put my changes in Scrivener yet because I got sick, and that slowed me down. I don't like the book right now, and so I'm struggling with that. I know that this is just a stage. In every book I write, there's a point where I'm like, nobody's gonna like this. This is a PG show, so I won't say what I was just going to say. But I'm also kind of struggling to know if this is the right book to be working on right now. So I might do the hat trick from last week.
Yeah.
I do, whenever I have a dilemma of which project to work on, I always pick the one that is more done, so I can finish that and get it off. And that is usually what I do with chores around the house too, or anything that I've got multiple things to do and multiple projects started. I always do the one that I've got the most done on, so I can cross it off faster.
Plus, you get that completion, feel good feeling
Yeah.
that then makes you want to go do other things.
Right. But both of the books that I'm working on right now they're about at the same stages of unfinishment. So I might have to just do the hat trick. But yeah.
Well, and it's good that you know that writing is basically a roller coaster ride.
Yes.
Like there you go, you feel really good about it, and you're like, oh, this book is fabulous, it's wonderful, and then you
Everyone's
go,
yeah.
and you're like, oh my god, this is such nonsense.
Why am I writing this again?
I'm just gonna give it up, and then you just keep going, and you go, oh, like, oh, maybe it's not so bad. And
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna aim for that. Oh, just try to get back up on the.
That's been my experience with every book, and
Yep.
it's
Like
funny.
Me too.
My roller coasters are like I'm getting sick by them.
You get car sick from here. How about are we done with the check-in then?
We are now. We're on to our question of the week.
Okay, so our
All right.
question of the week is: when do you query an agent? Have you guys queried agents?
I have.
Yep.
Yes.
So much fun.
Yes.
I watched there's some funny YouTube video I watched about somebody who had just queried an agent, and like basically a different roller coaster of emotions that, and the whole process of you go through this process of writing the query letter and trying to get it perfect and all of that, and then finding your agents to query, and then you send it out, and then like there's nothing, and there's just silence, and there's nothing, and it's just that's pits hard. So when do you query an agent? I suppose you query an agent when you want to find a literary agent to represent your work to traditional publishers.
It actually depends on what you're writing. So there's a different answer for every.
Oh, like in the book, where you are in the book
So-
process as well.
Well, if you're writing fiction, you have to have the whole book finished, and picture perfect about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want the best book you can, so that
Should we stop that and say you have to have it finished
Yes.
if it's fiction?
You
and
have
you're
to have it
finish the
finished
book.
because the idea. I mean, everybody has a different submission guideline, and so you have to make sure that what those submission guidelines are first, and then do whatever they say. So whether it's a synopsis that you're sending in, or the first 3 chapters, or the first 10 pages, or whatever it is that they want, that has to be perfect too to get their attention.
Mhm.
And then if they like it, they're going to want the full manuscript. So you have to have it finished. You can't be like, oh, but an agent said last year they wanted to look, you need the whole book finished. If it's nonfiction, you do
It's different.
not write the book. You write a proposal.
Which usually includes some sample chapters of the book that you want to be,
and the full
good.
table of contents,
the table of contents, sometimes a description of
each chapter.
And then
So you don't write the book first.
you
if it's
can if you
straight-
want
You can,
to, but
yeah.
you don't have to.
Okay, and so I heard if it's for nonfiction, you have to have a very large
Platform.
platform. Yes?
Well,
I mean,
or you have
that
to
just-
show that you're an expert in your field in some way, that you're the right person and you're writing this book at the right
okay.
time, and that there is a we have a ghost. It's moving things around.
Also, we should have prefaced actually this question with querying an agent would then assume that you've decided to traditionally publish, because you would not query an agent if you were indie publishing.
Yeah, that was my answer. to the
Oh, I'm
question.
sorry.
Yeah. Like if you
Let me
want-
just elbow in and take over the show.
No, but that's what I said earlier. If you want to have, if you want to get a traditional publishing contract,
Mhm.
that's when you would query an agent.
Yes.
If you want
After
to-
the book is done, if it's fiction. If
Or
it's memoir, there's a different answer altogether too. So if it's memoir, which is nonfiction, you still have to write it out
yeah,
completely.
you should still finish it. Especially if you're a first-time author, partly because they want to know that you can actually finish a book, because it's easy to start a book.
Yes.
It's hard to finish a book and get it ready to be published, to get it to that quality where it is ready, to actually be published. Even though, you will go through more editing once you've found an agent and have a publishing, contract, but still it needs to be in the best shape that you can reasonably get it to before you ask anybody in the profession, essentially, to take a look at it. Because
And if you've self-published your book, do not quarry your self-published book.
so there are,
Right,
it,
no, you
it depends. There are some agents, again, it's read the submission guidelines and do whatever they tell you to do. Because some agents are interested in some self-published titles, especially if they have a good track,
If they have
a good sales
yeah.
record, and you have a good
Mhm.
platform. Some publishing houses are interested in, especially like for nonfiction. Sounds True Publishing will take self-published nonfiction titles.
I also heard that Harvest House in Eugene, Oregon, doesn't mind getting queried for books that have already been indie published because they quite like it. It's already edited and it's
Yeah.
a package deal already, so
So
they
it
don't
really
have to do much
depends.
work, right?
It depends on the agent. Again, there's lots of good resources out there in terms of finding who agents are and what they want, and and always I think the last word is go to their website, see what their submission guidelines are, and follow them.
Exactly.
Whether you agree with them or not, it
Right.
doesn't matter. Just follow them, because it makes everybody's lives a lot easier. And then you get to wait. You get to wait like for 6 to 8 weeks, or more, depending, until either you will hear absolutely nothing, which is fine. That just is a no, or some people will be nice and write back to you and say, no, thanks, not for me. I've had some nice rejections.
Oh,
I
I've had
really
really
like the
good
agents.
suggestion or rejections.
I really
yeah.
like the agents who rejected me nicely. Like they have a soft spot in my heart.
Yes.
Because it's fine if it's not for them. It's not the right book at the right time for them, and that's fine. Or they'll ask to say a full or partial manuscript, which is important to have that manuscript ready to go to send immediately to them, so they still remember who you are
Yes.
by the time they receive it.
Yes. The only other thing I would add is this isn't actually an answer to the question, but if you can go to any writing conferences, I would say one of the best things about literary writing conferences is the ability to pitch directly to agents face to face. You get 10 minutes, you pay 20, 50 bucks, whatever it is, it's worth it. And you get 10 minutes of their time and you pitch your idea, which is the same as querying an agent.
Yeah, you're just doing it in person. And something to just know is that, because I've heard, at conferences, and I kind of felt this way too at one point, going, God, I can't believe I'm paying however much each pitch for this agent. The agents don't get that money. They are sitting in a enclosed hotel ballroom for 2 to 3 days straight, listening to people pitch every 10 to 15, 20 minutes. And they don't get paid for that at all. They do it because they want to find new books that they love,
Yeah.
essentially. So even though you're paying to pitch, it's worthwhile doing. And that way it's like it becomes a warm lead. It becomes, then you don't have to query you. If they say, yes, send me whatever they tell you to send you, can be 10 pages, can be the whole manuscript, can be 50 pages, can be the first 3 chapters, whatever it is they tell you to send, then you can send it to them and they'll actually read it and respond to you again at some point in the future. I haven't, there's one agent I didn't hear back from for like 4 to 6 months or something. But,
Did you have something that you wanted to add or a question?
So when you pitch to agents at conferences, do some of them just say, not for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or some will give the business card to you and say, email me. I want to see a proposal, or I want to see 3 chapters, or send me the synopsis, or whatever. Do whatever they say.
Right. So, but I think there are agents that I haven't actually ever been told, no, it's not for me when I've pitched. I haven't pitched a ton, but like in the 5, 6, whatever pitches I've done, they've all said, yes, send me something. And that hasn't I don't have 6 agents. I don't have any agents. So obviously that has not all landed in deals for me. And one I could tell was like, she was kind of just being nice.
Just being nice.
Yeah.
But take that and run with it.
You never know. They might be just being nice to you at a conference, and then they actually read it and they go, oh my God, I'm so glad I was nice to that lady.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to move us on to the main topic.
Thank you, timekeeper.
And so our main topic today is how to be a healthy writer. And we're going to have tons of tips and philosophies, and we'll shoot them all at you. popcorn style probably, but I do want to start out with a resource tip that I totally love, and that is the book How to Be a Healthy Writer by Joanna Penn and Dr. Eugene Lawson. Lawson?
I don't
can't
know.
tell now.
Sadly, it's not by Joanna Bartlett. So.
Sorry. But it's a
The
fabulous
other
book.
Joanna.
I've read it twice already, and it's totally fabulous. So I would recommend that highly.
All right, I'll have to check that out. I like her books. I have the non-writer books. So, I was kind of thinking about this topic, and, how to be healthy encompasses a whole lot of things. I think a lot of the times we think of health as being physical health, which is certainly important. And there's also, our mental, emotional, and spiritual health as well. So, I mean, we're all about bringing balance to your writing life. So, how do you kind of find health and balance in all of those areas? So for me, I try to get exercise a bit every day. I'm not a runner or a
Lifter?
I'm not a super aerobic exerciser. I'm not. I've tried to be a runner. We live in, running town, Eugene.
Freeze trail.
And my husband runs like 4 miles a day on the treadmill every day at lunchtime without fail.
Oh my goodness.
And I've topped out at 2.5 miles. And I can't. I try and I can't. So I walk. I've been doing a Qigong class once a week, which is good. I try to hike once a week. I usually do that Monday mornings, but I went hiking yesterday afternoon. We actually brought a kid along. That was good. He talked about video games for 45 minutes nonstop.
I have one of those.
I know all about the latest update for Geometry Dash. If you're interested in that, message me.
Message sent.
Yeah. So, that's for me, that's the, kind of the physical part is trying to get exercise within my body's limits. I have a chronic illness or two, and so some days I'm really up for it and some days I'm not, and I have to respect that.
I think the mindset of respecting your body and having compassion for it is probably a number one key element of being a healthy anybody, whether you're a healthy writer or a healthy skyscraper window washer or whatever. Having the mindset of compassion and working within your own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. Because you are living ecosystem within yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how I stay healthy as a writer is I eat very clean foods. I used to do yoga, but I don't have time now.
You can do baby lifting.
Yeah.
Baby yoga.
Yes, story time, we do that. And the story time guy is just like, you guys are building muscles. And he loves it. He's like, oh, I love it. And I'm like, of course you do. And then I get migraines to the point where
They're fun.
I'm crawling to use the bathroom because there's just so much pain. So then that just goes along with the clean eating, and then I have to make sure that my sleeping pattern's not changed, and making sure I'm avoiding all the foods that trigger migraines.
Yeah, I love boring clean food too.
You eat a lot of boring, clean food?
It's delicious food. I have a restricted diet.
It's very
at the
time
moment.
consuming.
I cook everything from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
My family doesn't know how lucky they are.
I don't have the patience for that, but this year has been the year, 2018 has been the year of wanting to become a more healthy person. And so I did write a breakup letter to sugar.
I saw that on the blog. Yes,
so
I liked it.
I broke up with sugar. I am a sugar addict, and it really affects the quality of my life. So I don't eat it anymore. Obviously, when I'm traveling, that's hard to stay on diets, and I also have some food sensitivities, which doesn't really matter in the course of this conversation, I guess. But so I don't eat sugar, and I try to move more. I've been using a Fitbit, which seems
I have my Fitbit watch.
Trendy, and I resisted for a while, but I also struggle with sleep. I don't sleep enough. not because I have insomnia, but because I stubbornly go to bed too late and I get up at 6:30 for my morning, routine.
You
And
can borrow him. He needs to be in bed by 8:30.
Yeah,
Or,
so-
yep.
so
That's
I've
okay.
been
It's an
sleeping
okay
more
trait.
with the Fitbit because I'm,
I like that too.
see that, okay, you only slept for 5 hours and 56 minutes. You can't be, a good human being on that little of
No.
sleep. So, yeah, I'm trying to eat no sugar. I'm trying to move more. I do yoga a couple times a week. I would like to start walking a lot more.
I'm a good walker. That's the thing I've discovered about myself. I can walk like anywhere. I can walk for a long period of time. I'm like just good at walking.
The
That's
next
my
couple
talent.
of weeks, I have to, a couple of weeks of this month, my son will be staying with me
Mhm.
because his dad is going to be out of town. And so I have told him I will take him to school every day, even though he's totally within walking distance and he needs the exercise too. But if I take him to school, then I will go to the gym right afterwards. And so
Ah.
with him being there for like 2+ weeks, I'm hoping that going to the gym every day for 2+ weeks will help instill that healthy habit. And then maybe I'll start going when he's not around.
You can hope.
We can hope.
You just make
So-
him live with you and say, no, you have to stay because I need to go to the
I need to
gym."
take you to the school.
Yeah. So, in terms of mental health and being healthy in that way, especially as it pertains to writing, I think is important. I think it's important for everybody.
Yeah.
But writers, I think, often tend to be kind of solitary, not to stereotype all of us. But no, we did. I think we often are.
Yeah.
Sometimes more introverted, or certainly have those periods where we like to be on our own, because writing is kind of a solitary occupation that you. There are people that are able to write with a house full of kids running around, and
I never was one of those.
I don't know how to do that. I go into this place where I find it actually painful to be interrupted. Like if people come in and I'm in that kind of deep work zone, it hurts me, and so I won't get back into it if I can't kind of be assured that I won't get interrupted. I now have a sign on my door, and so people know whether or not they may enter or not, and a space they can leave messages. It's like I'm in college.
Nice.
I do have a kid that will come up and leave messages.
So what do you do for your mental health?
So for mental health, so like I said in my what have I been doing, mindfulness mindfulness meditations become a big part of what I do. It's been part of what I have kind of taught people in my intuitive mediumship work. It was meditation, and also something that I have resisted a lot in my life. But I'm taking this course, and it is very encouraging for that. And I also find that it's a good thing to do. It's a great thing to do, like right before you go into a writing session, is to spend like 10 minutes meditating, and to help you, clear your mind, calm your emotions. If there's stuff that's coming up for you, especially with mindfulness, that allows you to kind of recognize it and know what it is, give it space and room for it, and then see if it, see what's going on there. And then the other piece of that is, I don't know, I guess I can only speak for myself. I know I work stuff out with what's going on with me in my writing. And like if I'm writing a memoir that's about a very difficult topic, making sure that I have the support I need, like going to see a therapist. That's what I do. That's how I wrote a memoir, is I went to a therapist all the time to make sure that I stayed kind of sane. Yeah.
I said earlier that I do yoga, and I think that is actually a fabulous way to stay mindful and have some meditation time, because when you're in savasana, or even when you're doing the active poses, often there isn't time to monkey mind around because you're focusing on what you're doing at hand. So I think that's great for mindfulness for me. And it's kind of like a spa treatment for me. I get an hour plus time where it's all about me, and I'm doing something that makes me feel good in my body and in my soul and in my mind. So it's kind of it's a treat for me to go and do. Another book that I really liked and has helped me be more productive and also more mindful is Miracle Morning for Writers. And I forget the author's name. It's escaping me for the moment, but it's called Miracle Morning for Writers. And that really helped me develop a morning routine for myself, and that is what's healthy for me, mindfully, and physically too, and to be more productive. So it's kind of a win-win-win all the way around. And one of the things that I do in the morning, even when other parts of my morning ritual sort of for a while, for whatever reason, is morning journaling. So I'll get up in the morning and I'll feed the dogs and I will make myself a cup of chai and I'll sit down in the couch and pet the dogs for like a couple minutes, and then I'll drink my tea for a couple minutes and just do some deep breathing, and I'll like close my eyes and visualize what I'm going to do for the day, and then I'll pull out my journal and I'll journal for 15 or 20 minutes at least, hopefully, depending on how much time I have that morning. But in that journaling, it helps me to just ground myself and center myself. And I find that when I don't do that, if I don't have an opportunity to do that every morning, then my day feels sketchy and I'm kind of restless and I just feel a little bit off.
Kind of frazzled, kind of like you've never quite settled down into.
Exactly. And sometimes it's so bad that I even have to like put off whatever I'm doing and pull out the journal, even if it's like 11:30 in the morning or something when I'm supposed to be writing or doing something else. I'll have to pull out the journal and just do that so that I can ground and quiet that frazzliness.
See, when you speak about how that soothes you, that's exactly how I feel when I'm writing.
Writing fiction?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, like, it fills me. If I'm not doing it, I'm not. Like, I don't feel complete. So, yeah.
I've heard other writers say that too. I remember my friend Will Hertling. You've heard him speak maybe so he lives in Portland, and he was taking a walk one day and he was trying to figure out why he just felt kind of off, and he'd been feeling kind of off for weeks, and he just didn't understand. Like, he was cataloging everything that was super cool in his life right then, and why am I feeling, I haven't written for like I forget how long. It was pretty substantial, like 6 weeks or something like that, or 3 weeks, because he'd been working on a book launch.
Yeah.
And so there was a bunch of admin stuff, and he was in a different part of finishing energy, and he wasn't doing the creative writing, and he just felt
weird.
Yeah.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
All right. So we need to wrap that main topic up. Basically take care of your health in whatever way works for you. For us, we like to go walking, do yoga, meditate, do morning pages, journaling, or just to get the work done.
Well, it's not just to get the work done.
It's right. Just
right now, I have this perfect moment where, like, husband goes off to work super early, kids are still asleep, and I can just get into it and just, zone, and then the rest of the day is like wonderful. I'm like, I got words in. It's so wonderful,
That's great. So if you have any questions about what we talked about this week, or have a question you'd like us to consider for our Q&A segment in an upcoming week, please leave it in the comments
below. Okay, so
in our remaining minute, what are we doing this week? I have no idea what I'm doing this week.
I'm going to put my changes into Scrivener, and I'm going to also look at Fast Draft Your Memoir by Rachel Herron. I've read it already once, but it's a fabulous resource, and I'm going to check into it again about working on my manuscript.
I'm going to write some words down. I need to do some blog posts, I think, and some vlogs.
What about you?
I am throwing out big chunks of my first draft. Just redoing them.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
I guess.
Thanks for watching today. And next week we'll be talking about stuck points and how to, when a project gets derailed, how to get back up and get that going again. So please join us live on our YouTube channel right now, or in our studio audience
Come watch us make fools of ourselves.
at Tsunami Books in Eugene, Oregon on May 14th, Monday, May 14th. So again,
Subscribe.
Oh, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that if you're not here, and you can join us the way that you are right now.
Yes. So again, we are Valerie Ihsan,
Joanna Bartlett,
Julie Dawn,
and we'll see you next Monday at 11:11. Now,
go right now. Okay, someone has to figure out how to turn this thing off again. Okay.
You do it? Yeah.